So we're trying new things today. I'm going to be showing you the Dior Rose Tulle eyeshadow, and I'll do some comparisons. And I have the Tom Ford Soleil collection, one of the highlighters and both lipsticks. I don't have the eyeshadows yet. I did use the highlighter in a different video, but this video, I'm going to show you just the highlighter on my face. I'm going to be using it kind of like a bronzer and sort of like, you'll see. And then we'll do the Rose Tulle, and I will show you that in comparison to some other Dior quints that you are interested in. Hey everybody, so today we're going to take a look at Tom Ford Soleil collection. I have fingerprints all over it. I have cleaned it off several times and I still have fingerprints all over it because it's glossy and you get fingerprints on it like immediately. And then the Rose Tulle. This is one of the new eyeshadow quints from Dior, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Dior formula, or the reformulation, if you will. So this is, like I said, Rose Tulle. I'm going to compare it today, swatch-wise, to Nude Dentelle and Nude Dress, so you can see it swatched next to those. I also want to mention, when I did my khaki video, or when I showed you khaki, the new quint from Dior, I was very jet lagged and sleep deprived, and apparently did not actually show you what it looked like next to Jungle, which I don't know how I forgot to do, but I apologize. So this is khaki. This is Jungle. Now I did swatch them for you so you could see the swatches, but I wanted you to see the difference in the quads just side by side. They are very different color stories. They are not the same. They both have greens. This is Jungle. This is khaki. I mean, it's obvious what the color stories are, but they are not the same quint. So if you're interested in the new color story, I want you to know it's not the same as Jungle. A couple other things about the Dior formula that I did not mention. One, and it's not about the formula, it's about the reformulation of the product. In the new Dior quints, they have the little brushes and the little eyeshadow, I guess they're like sponges. They only have one side. I say Dior on them, they're in silver, and there's like a little sponge tip applicator, and then there's a little brush. In the old ones, there were double-sided, and one was a very pointed sponge applicator, which I've heard from many of you that you really liked, and the new ones don't have it. So let me show you what that looks like. Here's the old one. See the point on the end? And then the applicator, and then the brush had this brush on this side, and then like a angled brush on the other. Those no longer exist in the new ones. The new ones just have what I just showed you. There's a sponge tip applicator and then the brush. That's it. So, yeah, if you really liked that, it doesn't exist anymore. They've changed it. I don't know how people are going to respond to that. We will see. And then in relation to the formula itself, it actually the khaki wore really well. I didn't have any problems with wear, but I will say that by the time I took my makeup off at the end of the day, the colors had blended far more than the old Dior formula used to. So what I mean by that is, you know how if you go back to that video, I had a dark shade here, and like a lighter shade in the middle. By the time I took my makeup off, it had all kind of blended into one greenish shade. It didn't look bad. It looked very pretty, but the shades had lost a little bit of their significance. So I will say that I don't like the formula as much as the old one. It's definitely more powdery. It's definitely not as creamy, but it did look good. It did last a long time. So I'd say if you never got really super attached to the old Dior formula and you didn't love it like I did, if you're looking to buy the new ones, they're good. They're not great in my opinion, but they are good. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, so the Tom Ford Oasis. I talked about this in depth in the other video, but I wanted to put it on my face without anything on it today. This is Oasis. This is the cooler one, believe it or not. The other one is a lighter, goldier shade, which I know says a lot. But I want to show you on my skin tone, and again, I am like a BR12 in Chanel, so I have very pale skin. How on me, this kind of works like a bronzy highlighting blush. This is not a great shade for a highlighter for me. It's too deep, and I don't think it looks, you know, great. Also, I would say it does tend to accentuate texture a little bit more than, I think you can see that, a little bit more than some of my other highlighters. So I'm not gonna say that I dislike it. I just, for the price point, I'm just kind of like, eh. I don't think it's great. I think this would work better on a younger person, and I also think it would work better on somebody with a deeper skin tone. Now, lipsticks, these are the Tom Ford Soleil Spark Lip Balms. I did pick up both of them. I'm not huge on the lip balm, spark lip balms, but I will say this, I do love the packaging. I have the silver ones, I have gold ones. I think they're pretty, although you get your fingerprints on them like the minute you touch them. This is an overspray. I'm pretty sure it's an overspray. So as soon as I swatch it, that will be gone. But I picked up both shades, Sun Spark and Sunlight. Light is the lighter one. I'm gonna say that this is going to be, yeah. If you don't like a basically nude look, you're not gonna like it. I think it would look better on someone with deeper skin or more pigmented lips, maybe. I don't know. I think it's gonna make me look ill. Sun Spark, on the other hand, is quite a bit deeper and a very pretty coral shade, which I actually think will look quite nice. All right, let's try the Sunlight first. Like I said, it's a shiny, basically nude shade. I would use this with a brown liner, or if I wanted like a cooler look, a pink liner, but it's pretty, it's a pretty light, almost beigey gold color. All right, let's try Sun Spark. Okay, Sun Spark is very pretty. It's like a coral. It has like a little pinkness to it. Pinky orange. Very pretty. Definitely would recommend that one. The Sunlight, again, unless you're looking for something that you wear with like a liner, or you really like a very nude lip. So now let's take a look at Rose Tulle. I did swatch this in the khaki, I'm calling it the khaki video, but I want to show you it again because I want to compare it to Nude Tulle and Nude Dress. And then of course I'm going to do an eye look with it. Like I said, the formula, it's not bad. What I would say really I noticed more than anything else is that the mattes are the thing that's really inferior. The mattes are not nearly as creamy or as good. The other shades, I find, all in all, you know, they're about the same. I'm not going to say they're as good because they're not, but they're not bad. The satin shades and the shimmer shades, they're okay. They're definitely okay. The mattes, though, they're not as good, in my opinion. All right, so that is Rose Tulle. I also did pick up the Amber Pearl shade when I picked up the new blushes. I picked up the Dior Couture blushes and the Backstage blushes. I only picked up 2 shades. So we'll see. We'll see what I think of that. All right, this is Nude Tulle. I was gonna pick up all 4 new shades, but then I was like, you know what? So much blush. Let's see what I think of the formula, and we'll go from there. All right. It is my birthday month. I'm not sure what day this is gonna go up. It might even go up, I don't know what day it's gonna go up, but my birthday is May 31st. So my birthday month is coming to an end. I did pick up some things for my birthday. My husband got me a beautiful gift for my birthday, which I'll actually show all you guys in an upcoming video. Okay, so that is Nude Tulle. Nude Tulle is part of the Velvet. Does have more of a formula similar to the new one. Color story is very different though. This is, Nude Tulle is a much warmer, coppery, more amber. This is much cooler, peachy pink. This one, Nude Dress. And let me show you, I should have showed you, let me show you Nude Dentelle. Here's Nude Dentelle, the one I just watched, and here's Rose Tulle. So those are those two. And then this is Rose Tulle again, and Nude Dress, which I'm about to swatch. A little more similar to me, at least, you know, the look, but I just look at them without swatching them. They do look similar, so let's see. Again, I can just tell you off the bat, it's so much creamier, the old formula. I mean, what do you think of this new formula and how it looks? The old one is just far superior and comes to like how it feels. It just is. It's smoother, it's creamier. Yeah, it's just, I think it's the lack of aloe that's in here and whatever else they might have played around with. All right, so this is the new one, Rose Tulle, and here's the old one, Nude Dress. Although by eye, you know, when you look at they do look similar, I think the color story is definitely different enough. Nude Dress is much more neutral, cooling neutral. Rose Tulle, the new one, definitely looks more like a rose shade, like a rosy, bronzy shade. Especially this shade, which is really interesting. It's like a rose, dark, deep rose bronze. It's very pretty. And this shade is pink. This matte is patchy, so we'll see how that works. I'm not here to knock the formula, or you know, tell you that the new one is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I prefer the old one so far. The new one is fine. There's like, it's not bad, but I'm just kind of like, but why? But why? I mean, you have something that works really well. Why change it? All right, so I'm gonna use this middle peach shade. A lot of you have said it's, you know, for the clean, the term greenwashing. A lot of companies have come out to say, yes, you know, like our products are clean beauty and better for you. You know, I'm not gonna get into that entire discussion here on YouTube. I think it takes a lot more nuance, and there's a lot of different points of view on this. But what I would say, and I will continue to say, and I've said before, just because something is natural does not mean it's good for you. Just saying. Belladonna is natural. You don't want to drink that, so, or eat it. Poison ivy is also natural. Just say. All right, so that is the middle shade. It's like that peachy shade. I put this down first because I wanted to see if it was like pigmented. What I'd say is that this one's a little patchier. It's like a satin shade. It's not bad, but I think it's a little, I don't know, it's a little patchy on my eyes. Again, I have dry eyes, so you never know. But don't absolutely love that. This shade I think is going to be great. This is the bronzier, deeper shade. Yeah, that's a great shade. And I found that in the khaki as well. Like, there's a couple shades that work beautifully, and then there's a couple shades that you're like, which again is okay. But I felt like in many cases, lots of the older Dior's had more, I was more likely to get 5 out of 5 shades that I really liked. Although some of them, I will admit, like, there were a few there that I was like, what in the world does this shade do? But I felt like I had a better chance of liking all the shades. It was like back in the day, and anyone who's young will not understand this, but if you bought a record, you bought a tape, like there'd be like 3 songs that you liked and the rest of them you were like, and you just bought the record for those 3 songs. You don't do that anymore. You buy, you just buy the songs you like. But I always kind of felt like that with, a lot of makeup. You buy a palette and you like, 3 of the 5 shades. And 3 of the 5 shades are great. If you can get 4 out of 5, that's fantastic. But if you can get 5 out of 5, that's amazing. And I felt like the old formula Dior had more of that. Those are the middle shade and this deeper, almost like what's the word I'm like? It's like a burgundy, but it's like lighter than that. It's like a bronzy burgundy. It's really pretty. It's a very nice shade. Again, this isn't my favorite color story, but I think this will work for a lot of people. I think a lot of people will like this color story. It's light, springy, you know, it's not too, I don't think it's going to scare a lot of folks. There's some shades, I know, some color stories where people are like, that's a little much for me. We're taking the pale, I think it's like a cream shade. I will say this is actually going on better than it's swatched. It's like a, you know, a creamy satin, yellowish, a little bit of yellow. It's nice. I mean, that actually worked like it was supposed to. So I think that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, let's take this, the right one, this shade right here. And then I'm gonna save like the one that looks like more satiny, more shimmery to put on over. So I think this is a pretty color story. I think you can punch it up with that deeper shade if you put that on by itself. You don't put it on over, like I put it on over the peach because I wasn't looking to have it dominate the look. But I think if you put it on by itself, or put it on, I could put another layer on here at the end. I think you can deepen it. I'll do that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is very pretty. Very pretty, peachy pink. Rose is not a, you know, unfair name for it. I think rosy. Different shades of rose, but all right, now we're gonna take the shimmer shade. This is the one that looks like the most glittery. See, okay, at least this one has some impact. When I did it with the khaki one, there was like that yellowy one in there. It didn't do any, it just like, it like disappeared. This one does have an impact. I wouldn't say it's like a super cool level, but yeah, you can see like a shimmer or glitter with that. And I think if I take this is the only shade here that's deep. I think we can definitely deepen the look. I'm just gonna kind of put it out here on the edge. I'm gonna keep it very narrow, just here. I'm not gonna even run it through the crease. I'm just centering it out here. That, yeah, you can definitely see how that deepened the look. All right, let me clean up my eye and we'll talk final thoughts. Wearing the new Dior mascara. I gotta say, guys, the new mascara, the reformulated mascara, they said it's the same. It does feel slightly different to me. You know, it's one of those things like your mind is very powerful and it could be playing tricks on me and maybe it's exactly the same as before, but it does feel slightly different. And I can't put my finger on it other than to say it feels drier. Maybe again, it's just me, but it does feel slightly different. So just putting that out there. But I love the way it looks. I do think it's a great volumizing mascara. So, and I like a curved wand. So my thoughts on the Tom Ford Soleil collection. So I would say, in my humble opinion, that the Sun Spark is worth picking up if you like a coral kind of, I think it's like a perfect summer look. Totally get it. The Sunlight, I don't know. For me, it's not something that I would spend the money on. I'm gonna put these back on the back of my hand again. And the reason I say that is these are very expensive. I just think for what it is, I think you can duplicate the look so much cheaper. And it's an overspray. The shiny, you know, pretty sparkly stuff is an overspray. So yeah, it looks really cool, but again, that sunlight, like it's so light. It's a very, very light peach. I don't know. I'd pick up the new Cocoa Bomb from my brain from Chanel. That was the pre-summer, the spring stuff. I forgot, it was like 928. It was like, I forgot the color name now. I'll put it down below. Or one of the two new Chanel ones. The lighter one is the one that I picked up. I didn't pick up the deeper one. Those are the Cocoa Flashes. The Beverly Hills from Sisley, the limited edition one. By the way, I did buy a backup of that because I've already almost used one full lip stick. Anyway, those are all like peachy shades that honestly I think are better than this Sunlight. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for what it is, you know, and for the expense, pick up the Sun Spark. At least I think that's very pretty. I think it's a very nice shade. The highlighter. As you can see, for me it's blush. And this is the Oasis. The other one, Mirage, Again, I did not buy it, but I did see swatches from somebody I trust and I know her skin tone. It's basically the same as mine. It's gold. It's just pure gold. And I have a lot of Tom Ford highlighters. I showed you in my other video. I compared Oasis to the Mood Light, the Nude Light, the doubles that I have. And I don't think this is special enough or different enough to where you want to spend basically $100 on it. Now, if you really like this peachy golden highlight and you want something pigmented and you are either deeper skin, so it'll work as a highlighter for you, or you're paler skin and you like this kind of look, then yeah, absolutely. I'm not like, this is a must-have. I just don't feel that way. The Dior new formula, I've talked in detail now about my thoughts on it. Do I like it as much? No. Do I hate it? No. I think it's okay. I think the shades are kind of hit or miss, which is what happens to me most of the time with eyeshadows. I think this one is actually quite pretty. If you like a rosy, peachy kind of thing, yeah, I think you'll like this. Is it my color story? No, I like the khaki much more than this one, but that's not a surprise. These aren't really my shades. Like, this isn't my favorite color story, but I actually think it's very nice for spring. Rose Tulle, it's a good name for it. This one I think performed about the same as the khaki. There's some shades in here that I really like that worked beautifully. Some that are okay. The sparkle shades I don't think do much. This one does more than the other one, but and they kind of blend into one another a little bit. This one does what khaki did, around the 5 or 6 hour mark, they kind of merge. But it did stay on my eyes, didn't irritate my eyes, didn't, settle into lines. But I'm just going to say it again, it's just not as creamy, and the formula, in my opinion, is just not as good as it used to be. That's just me. But I did pick up Amber Pearl because it's a whole new color story that I don't have. The blushes are on their way. I did not get the blushes ahead of time, and I'll tell you guys why. I went on a low buy at the beginning of the year, kind of a medium low buy now. The month of May, because it's my birthday, I actually spent quite a bit of money on things. I will do a very large haul video when I get all the things. It might be a while because I'll explain later. It might be a while while I get everything. But what I would say is Dior, and I mentioned this, discontinued or is discontinuing a bunch of their fragrances. So I purchased a number of Dior fragrances and they only existed at the very large size and they're very expensive. Yeah. So I picked up some other things as well. And again, I'll do a haul video, but for kind of like my birthday month, my gift to myself. I was kind of like, do I really need more Dior blushes? I have a whole bunch of the old formula, which I love. So in the new formula, I've only picked up, I think I ordered 2 new formula shades, one in like a satin, one in a shiny. And then I have the Backstage blushes. I have 2 of those coming. So that's why I wasn't like, like I must get them. Also, if these are going to be permanent, when things are permanent, I generally don't rush as much. I certainly want to get things out to you as early as possible, but I feel like unless it's going to sell out, like the Chanel Spring, which I was pretty sure was going to sell out quickly, or things are going to just like be gone, like the Guerlain denim collection, or now Tom Ford Soleil, which is limited edition. When I finally get the eyeshadows, I'll put those up very quickly. And I will make sure I get them as soon as I can. Those things, they sell out, they're gone, they're limited edition, you can't get them again. But if it's something that's gonna be in the permanent collection, for the most part, yes, I will get them. I will certainly order them, but I'm not gonna go to extreme means to get them super early. And I'm not gonna buy all of them. I'm not gonna buy 22 shades of blush. But I did promise that I would pick up a shade of the Dior new reformulated quints that's the same as the old, like a new dress or a new, I don't know, grand ball or something. One that literally is the same name and number so we can see the difference between the old and new. I've gotten some suggestions about what ones you'd like to see. Let me know in the comments below so that I can make that decision, and I'll do a side-by-side from old versus new. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.